Hey, afternoon. You know, about a week ago or so, I went online to the guywiththeglasses.com forum, and under the section that says movies, somebody put a topic that talked about, kind of asked the question, what is happening with Hanna-Barbera, or something like that. Basically, they were questioning as to why there are so many movie adaptations of Hanna-Barbera franchises coming out in the next few years. Some of them feel as though these franchises aren't going to be helping, or these movies aren't going to help the franchises out very much. Some have said that it's bad enough that we had some bad sequels to originally what were good movies. I mean, the Flintstones back in '94 were good. The sequel wasn't. Scooby-Doo, the original movie, was good. To some, the sequel wasn't. And the list can go on. The Jetsons animated movie back in 1990 was, in some eyes, good, and some others not. Tom and Jerry, the movie back in '93, to some, was definitely not a good movie because it had the characters talking. So the question is, what does the future hold? Well, as we all know, next year there's some movies planned for release. Some movies planned for release right off the bat is Johnny Quest and Yogi Bear. Now, Johnny Quest is obviously aimed for somewhere in the summer, although it may be pushed back more into maybe 2011. Yogi Bear is already set and scheduled for a holiday release in 2010. Now, some have already voiced their dislike for the Yogi Bear movie because you got Dan Aykroyd as the voice of Yogi Bear and Justin Timberlake as the voice of Boo Boo. And a lot of people are just basically voicing their disapproval for that because they don't like it. They hate it. And then as far as the Smurfs go, Smurfs are a good franchise, but to them it's like, how can you do a trilogy on the Smurfs? How many stories does there need to be? How many movies? They don't know. And originally the Smurfs was supposed to come out during the holidays as well, but I think because of Yogi Bear and some other feature films, they've been pushed back into the summer of 2011. Other movies planned that are in the works or in the planning stages are Hong Kong Phooey, which has John Woo directing. A live-action CGI Tom and Jerry film. What else? Another Flintstones sequel, I believe, is coming. That's from what I understand. From what I read somewhere, they plan on making a Flintstones 3. And, there are other titles that have been talked about as well, like, I think this Birdman has been talked about. I'm sure Huckleberry Hound's been tossed around, Quick Draw McGraw. All sorts of names have been thrown out there. But the truth is, a lot of fans don't like but what I'm saying honestly, and I'm sorry, I'm just looking out the window at something, but honestly, a lot of fans don't like the fact, especially this fan that posted it, they don't like the fact that these movies are being made. But the truth is, you got to give these movies a chance. You don't really know what they can do, what they're really about until you see them. So basically, you got to give them a chance. Don't think outside the box just yet and say, oh, it's going to be bad. You never really know. You don't really know until you watch it. I mean, they're not going to be like the Batman films back in the late 80s, back in the 89s, early 90s, and late 90s. They're not going to be like that, to where they started out good and then ended on a bad note. They're not going to be like that. They're not going to be like the Superman franchises of the late 70s and 80s. You know, start out good, ended on a bad note. No. You got to give them a chance. Give them a chance. I mean, some are saying that they see promise in the Johnny Quest movie. But Yogi Bear, Smurfs, Hong Kong Phooey, Jetsons are getting a live-action feature film, I think, around 2011, maybe sooner or later. You know, Smurfs, like I said, Tom and Jerry, you know, you got to give these films a chance. And like I said, people are willing to obviously give Johnny Quest and the Jetsons a chance, but the other ones, they're not too sure of. Well, you got to give them that chance when they come out. Don't be too quick to judge, as they say, because you never really know. I'm not going to be too quick to judge. I mean, I'm happy these movies are being made because I grew up on these characters. Yeah, I grew up mostly in the 80s and 90s with these characters, but so what? I mean, I already know that some people that are already bad-mouthing the Berenstain Bears film that's getting made. Why? Because they never expected that. Well, give it a chance. Well, again, just like with these movies, these Hanna-Barbera films, give them a chance. Give them a chance. Don't be too quick to judge. Don't be too, quick to criticize. Give them a chance. And that's all I have to say. And I will post this here on. After I post this on YouTube, I will link it to that very forum, that very page. If I have a link, up here, if I have a link up here on my description box, you'll see it. But that's all I have to say, and I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.